Good evening, everybody. We are here with Creative Partner Suzanne Conner. For tonight's craft-in, we are doing a Thanksgiving themed layout. A few announcements before we get started on tonight's craft-in. In the community right now, if you go to the shop page for Kiwi Lane, a la cartes are 15% off through Friday the 22nd. So this Friday, you can get your favorite a la cartes for 15% off. So be sure to go check that out. I'll post the link in the comments. So that's our first announcement. A la cartes are on sale through Friday. And then second announcement is we decided to announce more classes for our class page because we saw so many people were excited about it. So be sure to check out the link kiwilane.com/events. We have more classes coming. They'll always be put there if you're wondering. So be on the lookout for that. And then also we have a brand new product release happening in November, but remember we do a pre-release party. So we sent out an email this afternoon. If you want to RSVP for the pre-release party, please click on the link in the email to take you to the landing page. We would love to have you guys join us for that pre-release party. So with all of that being said, Suzanne, do you see comments coming in?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I was playing with my camera. Don't mind me.
Oh, I was like, she switched. It's fine. Still looks nice.
It's all right now.
Perfect. Well, I'll let you take it from here, Suzanne.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday night. Glad you could all join me. Gonna work with the Homegrown Harvest Kit is what I'm using from October 2020. Needless to say, a little behind, right? Actually, I've used it before. This is actually using up some, I still have some leftovers, so I thought I'd make another one with it. So, hello, hi Red Poppy and everyone. Oh, it's so fun. So fun, so fun. All right. Seems like there's quite a few of you on here, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. One fun thing we're going to make tonight is a turkey, so I'll give you a little peek at him. I think he's really cute. We'll make him later on, and you can see him, hopefully. But we're going to keep it a little bit simple, but make a few fun things. All right, so let's get started. So one of the things I decided to go with today was I was going to use the 3A and 3B from Cascade Trails. In that set, if you don't have it, it's a great set. And I'm going to tell you they're all great, so just get used to that. It has 3 different ones. It has a nice variety, so you get a lot of different looks, or you can get a lot of different looks with it. Oh, how do I have duplicates of that? Imagine. But this is what it looks. I always love the ones that have the point up towards something. That's just a personal favorite. But anyway, I decided to go with the Cascade Trail 3A and 3B. And all 6 of these come in a set. As if you're new to Kiwi Lane, you get 3 sets in a set. All right. So anyway, decided to go with this nice, just kind of a wavy look. On this side, I decided to use the a la carte placemat number 4. And you'll see what we're going to do over here. Now, don't get mad at me for this one because I have this and you don't. But I'm going to use the mini Cascade Trails 3A and 3B on this side. If you don't have them, just use your Cascade Trails or whatever trail you have, you know, or whatever you have, and just make it shorter. And you'll see why I'm making it shorter after a bit. Wow, I've got people from all over the place. Hello, you guys, it's so fun. And I just played around a little bit and I decided to put, we're gonna use this as a big mat. So you could put one photo like this if you wanted or not. After playing around a little, I decided to pull out a camera. And, you know, whatever your photos call for, you could put 2 3x4s back here. If your pictures are smaller, you could put, you know, a 3x3 there and one here. You could tuck them just as easily. Or, you know, if you want to mix it up some more, 2 different sizes. Okay, so that's going to be your personal preference, whatever suits the needs of your photos. Okay, so that's what we're going to play with for there. Now, what I thought would be fun, and it just kind of caught my eye and I thought it would be fun, would be to put, I'm going to put a pumpkin. We're going to use, and this is from Halloween. This is number 3. If you don't have Halloween, use whatever pumpkin you have. I also have Holiday 4T, which is another pumpkin. And again, use what you have. Don't worry. And then the a la carte gourd. I know it came in a kit, and I will say I'm sorry now. I don't remember which one. Okay. And then over here, we're going to make this turkey, and he's going to go over here. Now he is made with, I started to use a tag, but it was a little too wide. So I actually ended up cutting 1-inch strips, and then I cut them 2.5 inches long, folded them in half because so that you get this crease look. So I folded them in half, cut the angle, and then I just started, you know, I just made, that's how many I made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 longer ones. These ones are a little, you know, just that tiny bit shorter, and you can just leave them either hang down in the back or whatever, and then one in the middle. Okay. And I'll show you, we'll make him. And what I used for his body was just the good old 3T circle. And you could use, I don't even know the size of that, 2.5-inch circle. So if you have a 2.5-inch circle punch, that's that part. And then I used the 4T oval to make his little body. And I put it, and then this, his beak, I just hand cut. I'll show you just a long, I don't even know what it's called, an ellipse or whatever, folded it, and I'll show you how to do that. So those are the pieces. Then what I was doing, what I thought was fun, just because it's fall and it's Thanksgiving, and I have another layout I'll show you that I did, but I just felt like it was getting too busy. But these are just some leaves. Just putting some leaves randomly along this in the varying patterns. And I'll show you the paper that I chose, and you can choose whatever, and you can choose whatever layout you want for these to look different. However, we'll play with them. And I have some over here. Okay, and then, so we'll have room for photos there. You know, I know Susan has done it in her demos where you can put 3 photos here instead of doing journaling, or you can do that in journal. You know, I'm going to journal over here. That leaves room for more photos, and you can custom cut those to fit. Okay. So I'm going to move Mr. Turkey out of the way and the leaves. So the color, what I chose to use, if you have the kit, I used this. So you make sure they're in the, you know, that they butt up against each other, because they do fit together along. And you're going to trace. No, I'm not going to, because I cheated a little. So I'll pull out my pieces. I didn't cheat. I just trying to, in the essence of time, and you can see those don't fit together, so they're not put together the right way. Now put down your first piece. You have to trace both sides of it. You know, on your full piece, move it up, trace it again. Cut both pieces out. I ink, and then I'm going to replace. So I did not ink one of them. So if you're working along with me, yes, you got your fall class. And I have another one I'm going to share. I've actually been having fun playing with some of the templates that just, I don't know, I guess maybe because it's the season, you know, you pull them out more now. The pie, the rolling pin, the tea kettle, just been pulling out some fun templates that I haven't been using a lot lately. Been doing, you know, other things. So, okay, quick little inking on there. Again, my preference is to use Vintage Photo. So that's from Tim Holtz. I'm going to go ahead and put these in place. Just a couple little pieces of tape. I don't need a lot. Anybody going to create with me? Everybody just watching? That's what I do sometimes. I just watch other creators while I'm doing other stuff, listen to them in the background and watch them again sometimes and create with them then. Okay, so now we have that down. I'm gonna pull all these leaves out of my way. I did pull in a ton of leaves, right? Kiwi Lane has lots of leaves. So my mini cascades. And again, I've already cut those also. You can see. Oh, Kathy, you're making one of those file folder books. I made one once, and it wasn't perfect. My sister still loved it. I made it for my sister, some photos, and sent it to her. But I feel like, okay, that was my one I learned on. Now I need to do it again. I hope you'll post pictures when you're done so we can see it. I saw today that one of Susan's girls posted a photo, a file folder book she had made. It was precious, just precious. All right, so I'm tucking these into place just so they don't, that one doesn't want to, maybe I don't have it the right way. Better check myself. No, it's going to be the way it goes. See, this happens, but when we put it back down, it's all good. It'll all be good. And our things are going to cover that up. So I decided, now, I love this. I didn't have another base color in here that I liked that wasn't too busy because I had used a lot of it. So I pulled in a color from Simple Stories that I feel goes pretty well. And I kept this little tag to remind me from their Forever Fall line. And it is this real nice, soft polka dot orange. So that's going to go here. Okay. And I, of course, cut out the tags and I marked it. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. And I generally just kind of eyeball. It's nice when there's polka dots on my paper. And also my background paper is also from from Simple Stories. It's also from that fall line I had purchased. I will tell you, I like it, but I really love my Kiwi Lane. The colors and the designs are just so user friendly. Sometimes I buy these sets and then I get them and I can't get them. Well, I can. It's a lot harder to get them to play well with each other. Okay, now I have made little marks. I do that a lot when I run because I want them to be placed well. So I'll erase that right now while I'm thinking of it. Okay. For balance, I'm going to use the same. Actually, you can tell one's from Kiwi Lane and one is from, they're not too far apart. And at this distance and with everything else going on, I don't believe it will be an issue. So you can see, neither one of these are both from, because the background doesn't match. I was thinking one of these was Kiwi, this was Kiwi Lane. Wrong. Okay. Thanks, Jane. I have to be honest about this turkey. I was looking for some fresh ideas, and if you hit the little world of Pinterest and you say, so these, I actually temporarily, I just used the temporary tape so that you can see how this little bugger was created. So I took all these. I don't think I have to take them all off. You can see how long those ones are. Pretty quick. I just cut it on my cutter. Like I said, and I actually used a pencil to just kind of crease it a little so that it would bend without being too harsh. I pinched the ends together. I actually used the dotted lines, if you can see them, and just cut the corners. Okay, so pretty easy. Inked it. Okay, did all of my colors. So then I started putting them together, and I started with this little brown guy in the middle. And then I put the two on the side and then come back in and make sure I do this right, because nothing worse than telling somebody how to do it and do it wrong yourself. Why do I feel like I have something backwards all of a sudden? Okay. I'm not worried about putting this on permanent with a, majorly permanent, because it's going to get permanently stuck to my page. So, okay. So I'm sure you're all good with that stuff. And like I said, this is just a circle. And this is the oval, not positioning all in here. Now, I will do a quick, so with a scrap here, I just took something similar that, was there, and I just cut a little piece similar to that. And then I didn't fold it perfectly square, folded a little to the side so it looks a little cockeyed. And then I put a pop dot in the middle to hold it up. So there's a little pop dot in there, little pop dot holding him up. Okay. So our little turkey is going to get adhered, and now he's going to get some real tape, permanent. Okay. Yeah, I wanted something just a little bigger than the turkey that we have. And I'm not giving my turkey legs either, because I don't want to deal with it. So have you guys heard we're going to have we have some new releases coming, and that there's going to be a pre-release party, I think on the 28th 28th. Yes, October 28th. It's a Friday. I had to look at my notes. A pre-release party for the new releases. I can't wait to see. I am always like a little kid in a candy store. Cannot wait to see what we're going to get. So that'll be really exciting. So be watching for that. I'm sure some emails went out today and everyone got some information. All right, so the other paper that's with this kit that we have to work with, we have, you know, nice tan, nice bright orange. There's a green. This is not beautiful. Bright yellow plaid. Another one of the fun movement pictures. And like I said, you can tell this is scraps. I'm down to scraps here. I even used part of a card that didn't fit. There's some green and this bright, which is, you know, where my colors came for the turkeys stuff. So these are the colors we're going to pull on to make some more of our parts. Okay, so let's see. I used one of the cards, traced it out, made my little camera, and we're going to need to make a tag for there. We can put leaves, you can put another pumpkin, cut them out, play with them, see what you like, what you don't like. Pumpkin Kisses and Harvest Wishes was on one of the cards. I used that. I don't know how many of you are Kiwi Club members. And this is a Kiwi Club, but I'm going to send a shout out to Kiwi Lane and thank them. We got the nicest surprise in the mail. We got this cute, cute, cute little sticker. Love it. And a thank you from them to the Kiwi Club members. And when you're a Kiwi Club member, you get these little surprises, and we are getting 25% off an item. So if you're not a Kiwi Club member, there are some incredible advantages to being one. One of them is little surprises like that. Not little, that's a big surprise. 25% off, let's be real. That's a big surprise. 10% off all the time when you're shopping. Pre-release specials, like we get access to things. Members get access prior to non-members. You know, and there's no long-term commitment, guys. You can sign up for this. You could try it for a month. And if it doesn't fit your budget or doesn't fit your crafting style, or just you're getting too much paper, haha, too much paper. Who said that? Never. Anyway, give it a try if you haven't. And if you want to try it out and check it out, now is a great time because they have opened up the overstocks, and you can pick them up for buy one, get one half off right now. And you can see what they're like. So we've cut out a pumpkin. Cut out a fun big leaf. I tuck him back in there. This is why I said it's not going to matter a lot if this comes down all the way or not, because you can put some things in there to make it fun. Have one, I think I wanted to put something. You could tuck these under a little if you wanted, leave them on top. Always, you know, I'm always saying it, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. Don't be afraid to move them around. If you don't like how it's looking, move them around. Move them around. Spread them out. Play. You know, sometimes my brain thinks it's going to come out one way and, you know, it doesn't. And if I don't like it, I just move it around and play some more. And I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I might decide I wanted the bigger leaf up there. I have my little gourd. Saw a cute shirt the other that said, "Oh my gourd." I thought that was cute. Not that I like the way they say that, but anyway, that was cute. I almost thought about using this because sometimes when I look at it, I can see like an animal. I don't know, maybe I see a penguin, or I kept trying to see the turkey, but it wasn't working, but just like a little eye. I don't know. Call me crazy. Yeah, no such thing as too much paper. I agree, Leisha. I hope I said it right, Leisha or Lucia. I have so much paper. I actually have seen people that have a lot more, but my friend would tell you that I have a lot of paper, but I use it all. Okay, so here we are, pretty quick. Play with some leaves, move them around, make them yours, okay? Any more questions about anything? I'm going to cut a little piece out there for on there. I have a journal here. Go ahead and stick a few things down, pop a few things up. Okay. We'll pop up this Mr. Pumpkin. I think I have stock and pop-ups. I use a lot of pop-ups. I mean, at least one thing on my page pops because it does, the dimension just makes such a difference, I feel. So. Can you believe it'll be Thanksgiving before we know it, won't it? It'll also be snowing before we know it. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not ready. All right. You know, this over here too, guys, don't be afraid. You know, you can bring a picture down off of the page. You can put two, one can drop down under the turkey. You can put, you know, just move them around and play. None of this has to be set in stone. You can just keep playing. This could come down, you know, just so much. You can do some more journaling. You could throw another leaf up here if you wanted to balance, you know, if you wanted something. You can use your scraps, cut a couple. But I wanted to keep kind of a simple, just about the leaves and about the family, you know, Thanksgiving, just kind of the turkey, not a lot of other stuff. Sometimes I start and I feel like I try to tell too much of a story with what I'm doing, and my photos can get lost because I put too much junk on the paper. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting some of these down. And then if you want, I can show you another one I did. Anybody need any help with this? Any questions, concerns? You know, and I do try, I have a, you know, this is a pretty busy pattern. This has some movement in it, but not as much. You know, so they complement, they pull each other out. I think if we popped it up a little, and I don't always, thanks, Jane. I don't always pop the whole thing. So for instance, you know, I'll pop the top up and then let it kind of come down into the stuff below it. Crisscrossing them on down, huh? Yeah, I've mentioned before that we were in Ireland several years ago, and our friends, and I did my daughter's book for her, And after I did that, I just needed a break from doing pictures with so much green in them. And I've been going through photos trying to get, probably like the rest of you, just caught up and organized. And I saw the leaf templates are from all over the place. Terry, let me look at them and be honest and tell you, because you know we have leaves in so many different sets. So let me throw this out of my way here and we'll pull the leaves out and look at them. I think I have leaves from Nature, Holiday, a la carte. So these two, sorry, my fingers aren't working. Nature and Tiny Nature. Lovely. And they layer together really well too, especially if you turn them the same direction. I could have put this inside of there, if you can see that, and that would have looked really neat. Okay, so Nature. This one is out of Autumn, and I believe this one. So I have two of them out of the Autumn set. That's the one that has the owl and the tree, has another tiny little leaf, has a tree branch and the owl. That makes for a really fun, also autumn photos if you don't have that. This is an a la carte oak leaf. I'm learning, and I didn't do it with these, but I'm trying to learn to write on them what kit they came out of, because I actually have my leaves all together. I don't have them in their sets. The pine cone is an a la carte, and probably if I could look on my phone, I could tell you what kit it was out of, or in my fun little book here, because the pictures of them are in with. So the oak leaf was out of October 2019 Kiwi Club kit. Let's see. We have the tropical more looking leaves. The turkey that I'll show you in another layout, and the pine cones out of December. December had the ripple and the pine cone and the holly. So they all come, they're kind of all from different areas. And I actually have all of my leaves together so that when I want to do something, I'm not pulling out 4 sets, I'm pulling out leaves. That works for me, doesn't work for everybody. This leaf, I don't know if I said already, is out of Holiday. Okay, so that's where the leaves all came from. Whoops, don't like to lose things. Lose them in the garbage. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. No, okay. The pumpkins this time, the other day I used ones that were out of different ones, but today they're out of Halloween, Holiday, and the gourd is an a la carte that came in one of the Kiwi kits. Okay, so there are other leaves. I didn't even use them, so I pulled them out. And then this is some more options. So Halloween has the big tall pumpkin also. Here's the turkey, and he was what I was going to use, and I was just like, oh, I don't want, he's just too little. I wanted something big and boisterous. A fern, out of one of the templates. We also have, and it would be cute in here, is the acorn. He would look really cute. And we have the a la carte pumpkin and an apple. So they came in Kiwi kits, club kits. So I can't tell you exactly which one. I apologize for that. I've talked actually with my friend today about potentially putting them back in to where they came, and that could happen. All right, I want to put, so again, I don't have photos for this. I just said that, you know, Thanksgiving's coming. I will have some to add to this layout. So I want to put a little something though on my camera. And I guess I need to finish doodling up my My little catalog, Elizabeth, is one literally, this is before they quit printing. This is from spring, summer 2020. I may have a couple floating around here somewhere. If anyone wants me to mail you one, I can't I can look for them. I'm kind of trying to look around and see. I might have a couple. You could message me. It's Kiwi Lane with Suzanne Conner. You can send me a message and I can let you know, and then I can get your address and mail you one if you want. It's the last one I thought to grab and keep, but it has everything in it. And then what I have done, this is my, because I'm like, I've added in, I'll print it off and add it in with where it belongs. And if they retire, I mark them, because I find it quicker to grab this book. And I know a lot of people have printed them, but I was like, well, I already have this. I don't need to print something big. And these were pages I printed and I just add to it. You can see, and I'm a little behind on some of it, but I'll get there. And then I have the Kiwi Club kits printed out and in the back. And like I said, I know it's on my phone, but sometimes I'm using my phone just like now, and I can't look on it to see, what's in the kits. Okay, so like this January had the peach, trying to see which one had the apple, if I see it real quick. I don't see it. Yeah, Hope, I still have some of them together, like if they're more standalone type things, but the things that I found myself constantly searching through for, like stars or more than the arrows. I think I can't even remember. I counted, we had so many arrows. I actually have 3 containers of arrows, just because. So this is how I have mine. And this is this one, he's only in here because he's too big to fit in the other one. But these are all my curved arrows. And that's what it says in my little thing, curved arrows. These are my little small in corners. So, I don't have to dig through them. And then these are my straight arrows, and these are some angled because, they didn't fit. And that way, when I want them, I don't have to pull out the book or try to find where they are. And there's something I use a lot, so that's how I pull them out. The other things I keep together are all the back brackets and then my flowers, because I use flowers a lot. I actually have 4 containers of flowers that are in there all together, pulled from, but like wildflower is still all together. Yeah, I didn't realize they had so many arrows either until I started pulling them. My email is sconner.kiwilane@gmail.com. So yeah, feel free, or my Kiwi Lane page is Kiwi Lane with Suzanne Conner. You'll be able to find me, and you could message me easily. And I'll see if I can find some. But anyway, let me finish this up, and I'm going to show you another one I did. And just a fun one I did too, just because. I don't know why that's there, but hey, whatever. So there's just a little piece on there, and I want to put something cute. I don't want to cut my cards, and I want it to have some contrast, but I'm really thinking I want it to be a little more subtle. So I'm going to use this, trace it out real quick. I find myself using these little stencils more and more for all kinds of things. I already stenciled it on here, traced inside, so I know where it goes. And then the little paper clip design, I already had done that with black pen. I just used my black pen, real quick. And you could use any color you want. I make life simple. I have black. Black goes with everything. It's kind of like clothes. Black goes with everything. I'm just going to cut this out of here real quick. And I have actually been up in my scrap room all day since about 8:30 this morning, other than time to cook lunch and cook dinner, walk around a few times and do stuff. I have been up here having a ball all day. My granddaughter was up here with me for a little while, working in her little book. Someday I'll take time and show you her little book. It's just hysterical. She is a pumpkin. Okay, so, and I'm going to use, when I'm putting together a layout, sometimes if I'm working ahead of myself and I'm not sure what photos are going to go, I always use the repositionable tape, get it in there, and then I can move it later to suit my needs. Now, we haven't done anything with this, and I think this pumpkin needs a little love. And I like to doodle. Let's grab a doodle pen. Don't forget right now also, guys, the a la cartes that are in the book or on your Zoom page, and I should have made a list of them. There's a hot air balloon. There's a reindeer. There's several items. My brain is completely drawn a blank right now. 15% off until this Friday. So good time to jump in there and get it. And I think I know we still have the buy one, get one half off on the existing Kiwi Club kits. So again, nice time to try them. And I guess I already mentioned it, the pre-release party and all the wonderful things for being a club member. When I've pulled out this other paper to work with it lately, it just makes me realize why I love Kiwi paper even more. Just makes you appreciate it even more because everything goes, both sides go. I don't end up with a whole sheet of paper going, why do I have this? What am I going to do with it? It's sometimes just too many busy patterns and I can't put them on pages. So then I'm like stuck. This green background, I will say, is also from Simple Stories. I do buy some of their background sets. I find that they do well. They're plain on one side or with a little bit of kind of a distressed look. And then usually this soft dot on the front. I don't usually matte or design on blank cardstock, just not how I started. So little quick pen work, and I think pen work makes all the difference on leaves. Little quick. Pine cone would be a bugger, wouldn't he? Okay, let's put this down. Make the pumpkin, I'm gonna make him flat because I might do a little building around him. Wait, Elizabeth, if you thought they have a lot of arrows, have you looked at your flowers lately? And I don't know if all of you or any of you do the, oh goodness gracious, the snap frames. If you don't do the snap frames, that's fine. You don't want the snap frames, that's fine. But I recommend getting the snap frame sets of paper because the cutest little flowers are in there. The cutest little flowers. Love them. I bought them for my friend for a gift because she doesn't do the snap frame, but I kept the paper for my snap frame and show. Guys, these are just the 4 that I have. Can you believe this? And this is not all I think I have a couple other places. So, I do have my springtime in here. I just recently pulled them in, but normally they're still in springtime. But these are the larger flowers that are all kind of the same. Then my clover, he's in here too. My simple, my hello, I have them all in there, little things. My favorites, Bonnie and the sprigs, so I know where they are. And my forget-me-not ones, all the ones that have square edges, they're all together. Then this is wildflower and tiny wildflower. They're together. They're the half flowers. They're like they are. So I still have them separate. So I have a couple sets of the tiny wildflower so I could layer with them. And this is Blossom all by itself with its, see, its leaf is still in here because I pretty much always use it together. And then my bouquet. And then somehow I got my lacy trim in there. I'll find where it really lives. And this flower probably belongs in a different spot. But anyway, so that was the other thing. I have 2 girls, so I use flowers a lot, and I have a granddaughter. So I use a lot of flowers. Yes, I love these kits. I just can't, I can't say enough about them. I love them. All right, so finished with that little bugger. Let's just put a little tape on the bottom, put a couple pop-ups to lift him up. It's amazing what just a little bit of dimension. And I haven't even really I haven't recently, I go through spells, I'm sure we all do, where I break out the twine and I twirl a lot of twine, and I probably will maybe go back and put some around or a little drippy. I may not. Been doing a lot of things lately and I just don't get back to it. And then my happy little gourd. I'll put him in here. And I definitely am gonna pop him. Okay, so again, I just work off the photos. This, I don't have any, but I know pretty much that when we go to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's for Thanksgiving, everyone will be wearing fall colors. It'll go with greens and the autumny look. So I'm not too worried about being able to have some pictures to add to this. We actually have a turkey bowl. And so I will have, that's kind of my inspiration for him. They have a turkey that they put out front that he looks a little similar to this. Okay. Everybody good? Because I have another one I'm going to show you. I'm going to take the tape off the back just so I can put it away. Okay. All right. So anybody have any questions on this? I think it's pretty simple. I didn't do anything, out there. Just pull out your leaves, and the little turkey is easy to whip together once I figured that layout out. Here's one I played with. It's not totally done. I was just playing with it. This is, I believe, I'm gonna, all of a sudden, it is also from Forever Fall. This is Forever Fall from Simple Stories. Okay, so I was working on it, playing with it. This is where that other leaf came from, the others. And I pulled out the tea kettle because I thought it was fun, played with that a little in the pie, set it up the rolling pin. And so in here, I'm thinking when we do this, because I'm sure we're gonna be doing some baking here. So we're going to be putting some pictures with the granddaughter helping me. I actually have a picture of her previously helping me roll out some dough. I get her in there, get her doing everything with me. She's my little buttercup. And we'll make some pumpkin pie and we make pumpkin roll to take to Virginia, my niece. Can't see both pages. Let's see if I can get this in here better. Is that? Okay. Better. It's hard. The camera, I've been not researching a better camera so that I can show better. I haven't really put the turkey. I cut him out of the dark and I was like, ooh, do not like that. So I have him flipped over. Not sure what's gonna go here yet. So we can play a little. I don't normally mat with dark or with colors, but I really thought it looked nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink these and get those into place. I thought I'd finish this one up. So this one, this is the brackets. I have to think where I just put my note for it. I had it here a second ago of what templates I used. Can't lose your notes, huh? Now, where did you go, you little 7 notes? Well, I know what it is, so let's just pull it out. I have it. Banners number 2. And I just slid it over and made it a little longer. Okay, so I just, no sense wasting a ½ inch. I can get more. You could do a little journaling here at the end if you wanted. The tea kettle and the pie from previous Kiwi Lane club kits. So if you're a Kiwi Club member, you'll have them. If not, I apologize. And I'm sorry for you. Join the club, it's the best thing. And again, you're not committed to it. So if you join the club and you get it for a couple months, you don't like it, or you get it and you know you can't get stuff done, you can pause it, you can cancel it, but you get 10% off on your future purchases and specials like you saw that nice little gift we received. So I don't have photos again. Isn't this pretty paper? This is really pretty paper. It's not as heavy as Kiwi Lane, but it is pretty paper. I believe again, the background paper is from, I'll flip it over and look because I believe it's also from the same place. I can tell by looking at the back. This is from Simple Stories, just one of their sets of plain paper. Okay. And I think I was saying, so part of the reason I used this was to balance the page a little. A lot going on over here, a lot of things happening. And then if I didn't put some color, you know, a little more, it was going to be pretty boring. So, you know, this is where, you know, I had this just because I have a tendency to use a lot more little pictures. You do that. We could reach in and grab a bracket. All my brackets are together, which brackets will come, but see, this is out of Groovy and this is out of Charmed. This is my favorite little bracket in the whole world. I use Groovy a lot, but all the rest of them, they're from brackets. I just have a double set of them because, well, because I do, just because. You know, you could put that bracket. That one's a little small, I feel. It does come in a little larger. But because this is like this, I would be tempted to use one that's a little similar. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm sorry. This, I don't know why it doesn't want to. I don't know. Did my camera slide down a little? Is that a little better? Can you see a little better now? Trying to get it. Okay, but that's, you know, put that like that. We can make some more. Okay, there's not a lot over there. That's a little better. You can see, right? I don't know why my camera won't. Yeah, this is from one of the Kiwi Lane. These are all Kiwi Lane templates, you know. So, you know, I would just put my pictures, whatever, you know, if I wanted a 4x6 in here. And you know, you could do a 4x6 and a 4x4. You know, just again, make it fit your pictures. Now, I haven't put anything in here for journaling. You could put, you know, you could get something up in here. Let's think. We've got our got all of our fun little captions. You can make use of these. So let's see. Doesn't have to be exact. It can set by itself. You know, and you can put something in there. You can journal. Sometimes I'll use one shape and maybe I won't leave anything out here. I'll go ahead and run my lines the whole way across. So for instance, find something. I would trace it, you know, trace him real quick. And you know, he's going up there. I'm not being a very good tracer here, but I would use these lines. And then I've learned that if you just, you know, and obviously you guys probably have too, if you just bring it up one, you can add another line. So I could take that all the way up and I could add one to the bottom, even a little lower if I wanted to go down a little lower. So then that could sit up there and be my journaling. Or, you know, my journaling can be on the end here. You could take my stuff is right beside me and I play with them a lot. You could use this same little fella, not him, but let's take him. If you bring this back a little and you put your photo, and let's say, okay, I would cut it. I would trim this in and I could do some journaling there. So lots and lots of things to do, okay? Is it fitting in better now, Terry, that you can see? Yes, I will be putting them on the Facebook page or I send them to them and they do that. Let me see, I'm going to look and see if there's any other comments. I am waiting to get the new November kit. But I'm like, I can't wait. Cannot wait to get my November kit. And then I'll be excited to get October and November. It doesn't matter to me as long as I get a kit. I'm happy. I'm going to create with it no matter what. So let me see. Do I have some leftover paper to work with here? That I could finish that layout. I might be out of stuff. Okay, so let's just make you guys really crazy. So I was playing with another one the other day and I was really pedinking along. And this is out of this layout. And this is where I said sometimes I can play too much. So I made a barn. I still want to put a cupola on top of the barn. This is where my photos are going to go. My photos are going to go right along the bottom, you know, whatever they are, 4x4s, 4x6s. I'm looking for a 4x6. I could put, you know, 2 4x6s down here. Just, you know, I don't know yet what it'll be. I think we're going to a part, but I started playing and I started putting all this in and then I'm like, that is so busy. So I stopped. I haven't picked it back up and played with it because I need to do it with something plain. Oh, Sharon, I'm so excited for you and jealous at the same time that you're getting yours tomorrow. So how I made the barn, if anybody's curious, is I took the house template. Let me see if I can find my house real quick. Usually they're in order. So I took the house, and I know you know what I did. I just put it down, drew from the middle around, moved it over, drew around. Okay. So that's all I did. And then just made sliding barn doors. I wish I could have made them really slide, but I figure once they're in plastic, they're not going to slide anyway. So had the picture of the fox. This is the carousel horse. I just didn't put the carousel under him. Okay. And I used the trees from the tree layout, the tree accessory set. And I did them in like kind of a winter white look. So they have that white birch look. This is from the, which kit is it, guys? I have it right here. At least I think I do. It's not the apple of my eye. It's not this one. Help me out. Who knows? Maybe. Oh, this is the one I was. Here it is. This is the kit I was looking for and couldn't find. The Wild Soul, our September Kiwi Club kit. Yes. Thanks, Kathy. So the September kit, I was playing with it. And, you know, I just, like I said, I just kind of got started. And my granddaughter is absolutely in love with that kit. She loves it. Like, you know, she's not the only one, right? So I was playing with it, made all this little collage. Like I said, you know, the photos can fit down here. And so it's obviously not, well, it started out like I was thinking I was making a Thanksgiving kit layout. And then, like I said, I got caught up in making these little things, and then they're on top of busy paper, little things, busy, and it just was like, oh, you're losing it. You need to stop. So I stopped. So with that in mind, I could finish playing with this here and see if I can transform it. And how I will begin that is by playing with some placing some photos, because that's what's going to tell me what I'm going to do. So I already know that's going to be photos there. So that is way too big. Sometimes I glue this down and then I realize that it's too tight. But if I put one, and again, I don't know what I'd be tucking or not tucking. I would have to see. And I may have been thinking, oh, you know, I'll just run pictures all the way. And sometimes, you know, you have that many pictures. This is just too busy for me. So let's think outside the box here, or in the box. Let's just look at some colors and see what we can do to change up how busy this looks. Now, anybody have any grand ideas for me? Help me out. Got lots of lightness. And I think the barn, once I build, I really, to me, needs a fun little cupola. All right, so let's see. We're talking fall. I know that this kit came with And I can just plan on this being like 4 pictures across the bottom. So this is just telling a big story going across here. Let's see what some of the cards say. Thankful for today. Yes. Adventures in the forest. You know, unfortunately, we did just go camping and I did not take one photo. Take only memories, leave only footprints. Wow, that's beautiful. You are interesting and different. I like that. Wild soul. Okay, let's see. Anything that I can put. Your search through nature leads you to yourself. This happened. I have so much room in my heart for you. That's cute. Let your feet wander, your eyes marvel, and your soul ignite. That's beautiful. Let's see. It's a magical world. Let's go explore. That could be a fun one. We were just away. Our friendship was on point, looking sharp. I know who that's for. Blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures. All right. Okay. Move it. Move it. What am I moving, Liz? Move it. Move this. That's what I was thinking. I take it off of there and just maybe put something. So if I take these away, we all know that that's for photos. Thought about bringing out some of the leaves again, since we're playing with fall. And I thought about using some of the leaves to create a little more broken up space, so that I could maybe put it back down on it and it not feel so. I really like this yellow. I feel it really is soft. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to trace out. I'm using the a la carte oak leaf. I'm going to trace this out. If you guys are working on whatever, if you need me to put anything back up, I have the layouts behind me that I first showed you. I could easily do that. All right, so what's something else everybody wants to do and explore? I'm very anxious to see this ladder that's coming up. Maybe I shouldn't spoil anything in this kit and what I'm going to do with that. I really need to sit down and go through some photos so I know, has some fresh stuff to work with. I was working on pictures of my brother, which I used the back to school sets up on. I picked up an extra one of those. I was trying to keep enough of them on hand for when the grandkids, silly me, like they won't make more paper that I will like, right? You think I have to stockpile something. Silly. Yeah. So just easing around, nice and easy, just following my line, not worrying about staying on it exactly. Throwing that into my thing, inking it right away. All right. I feel like I ask you guys the same questions all the time. So now I'm like trying to think of other things to ask you, like, I don't know. And I like to sometimes just take my pencil. I feel like a leaf needs to be crinkly. I don't like it to be all perfect, Getting softened up. Do a little work on him. Let's find another color for the other leaf. think green, I just feel like the green is too much the same as the background. One thing I know is if I don't like it on this page, I'll use it on another one, or I'll tuck it in somewhere. That's the autumn leaf. Now what I know this color is kind of close, but I think what I'm going to do is outline it. I'll use white instead of a black pen to do a little doodle work. I may kind of make the edge look aged with my pen, my white pen. So everybody able to see? Does anybody now, have any input on an overhead camera? I've really been doing some research on them, like I said, that would do the same as this, but a much better view. For whatever reason, my phone, and it's an iPhone, and I thought it should be fine, just will not turn. And if I turn it, it turns sideways, and I don't have any techies here to help me know how to turn it, make it any better. So and it makes me crazy. Last week I was really frustrated with how I just felt like I was in a tunnel. It wouldn't move for me. I feel it's a little better today. I just raised it up as high as I could. And all the things that I can adjust on it before Zoom then go away, and I can't change them out. So let's see. Everybody have a favorite? Now my portrait orientation isn't locked. I've done that. Yeah, sorry, Gwendolyn. It is so hard, and I just can't get any closer. And it isn't on lock. I checked it, if I have my camera up and I'm just doing like I'm going to do a video, it's wonderful. It's fine. I can see it. I put it on to the other, but it's when we connect through the Zoom thing that it changes I guess I need to do a little Zoom learning, but I don't know that I can change anything because I'm just on this end. But anyway, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I am going to do white just for the sake that this one is. Don't you hate it when your pen won't? Get it in landscape and lock it that way. Huh? I never thought of that. I'll give it a try. See, I knew if I asked you guys, somebody'd have a way to help me out. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, man, I can do that right now. I don't want to blow the whole picture up. So a couple bright leaves on here to help. I really just want to tear this all off and do something different. Okay. So trees. Do more trees over here. And then tell a story, I guess. I don't know that I want, oh, you know what else I think would be fun back there? Mountains. Mountains. I don't really want to do that stuff everywhere. So I've kind of gotten away from the where I started with the Thanksgiving. But this is a thing, I mean, I'm intending this to be Thanksgiving also. I just need a pilgrim or two. That would be fun, wouldn't it? A pilgrim hat? I wonder if I could make one out of something. Do the mountains and a different tree and get my pictures and do really want something to journal. Oh, I've got clouds. We have clouds we could journal on. We could put a pumpkin on here. That is absolutely something. Let's say I have the, say this is what just makes me wanna, I think they're just too glued down. I used glue. Did you guys ever do this where you put something together and you just want to tear it apart? I was trying to tuck some lighter things around it the other day, trying to make like grass or I could come up with something just right in there. And I think I would. All right, let's just make another little pumpkin. Sometimes. Has anybody purchased the, oh, I know I had put this little banner. I had cut it, but I didn't put it in there yet. I think there's another little pumpkin coming or something in the new set. So this is the season's pumpkin. He doesn't quite fit on there. I'll find another piece of yellow, light yellow. Yeah, when I had it all set up earlier today and I was playing with it and I had the little zoom button that I could hit. So when I'm doing close work like this and I'm drawing around a tiny little pumpkin, you can actually see what I'm doing. So that's the little pumpkin from the Tiny Seasons. I'm gonna cut him out. And I think he is going to make me happy. I think he's going to bring this together. And like I said, my pictures are all going across the bottom. And once I know for sure what I put on here, I could be, you know, we could be at my brother's, and the horse picture is with my brother's a farrier. And so the horse picture makes me think of him, and I should go see him and take pictures at his farm with the horse. And my granddaughter would love nothing more than to go ride the horse. My daughter was telling me that she just wants to ride. I think she's a little bit small yet, but she'll get there. Guess I was on a horse's back at that age. But I was raised around them. I think it's different when you're raised around them versus not. Now, sometimes, so you saw me, like I'm trying to stick that, and there's no way that's going to make it, right? Because I've got a million things going on. But if I can get it down in there, you know, so, you know, just a nice eyeball. I take a little bit off. I take a little off the bottom. I eyeball it again. See, that's not too bad. That gives me some, okay. Get my little pen. And I do usually make a green stem. Well, not usually, most times I make the green stem. I am just going to push him down in behind those other ones. And that kind of brightens things up a little. I've got my little red apples. I've got my leaves on this side. Now, and take this to Thanksgiving so easily just by adding a couple pumpkins, big pumpkins, a big pumpkin. I think sometimes I struggle with that, all the different sizes, and I feel, oh, you know, it doesn't have to always all be the same. Put a nice little pumpkin in there. See what we have that'll be a pumpkin. And if we don't, we've got the words that we can use a sentiment. That's where I'm going. I'm gonna take this sentiment. One of the nice things about our Kiwi Lane is you can see through that. I can see my words right in there perfectly. So I can center it and trace it out. And you know, the orientation, you can orientate your pumpkin stem to go either way. Wow, Nikki Probst, where are you from? If I might ask. Are you from Pennsylvania? Oh, that's something, Nikki. I've seen you before on here, and I've often wondered because I grew up showing horses all over the United States. Very blessed to have been able to do that. And that's, you know, probably why my brother's a farrier. But anyway, we grew up with a family and their last name was Probst, and they lived in, well, I don't know if it's outside of Oil City, Franklin. Their address could have been Grove City. I'm not sure exactly. Now, it might have been Kennerdale. But yeah, we grew up with them, 4-H, showing horses, the whole 9 yards. And every time I saw your name, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. My granddaughter, the reason I say she's a little young yet is she tends to get timid and scared about things a little too easily. And I'm just afraid that if we get her there and the horse, you know, I think it's just so different. Like for me, the horses were always there and they were out there and you just went out and there was a horse. It wasn't a, you know, but for her, and I know for our daughters, because I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to raise them on the farm like we were. They got scared easier going to my parents' farm. And so I bought them. Well, my horse was still at my parents until I guess 1994, 96, she passed away. She had been my show mare. And anyway, we bought them a little buckskin pony. the calmest pony I've ever known in my life. And that pony was the sweetest thing. His name was Ranger. You could crawl under him. He never moved. He would just sit there, but he was a typical pony and ornery when it came to riding, but he was good. We kept him in the ring, but the girls just, they just didn't go out and play with them like we did. We rode those horses everywhere. So anyway, they didn't ever get that itch that we always had. I'm not allowed to ride anymore. I got thrown off a few too many times. So I have a back that I can't go and do that anymore. But anyway, yes, horses, love them. The smell, just brings back. Okay, it's amazing how you just do a few things and you can pull it together. You can go so many different ways with this. There isn't a wrong way. And, like I said, the photos bring so much of it to life. And I just don't have any photos yet. I'm just playing with this little thing. It's like, sometimes I think I have I don't know if any of you have one, but I have a mink, and I could run this through the mink with some silver or something. It would look like lights, and I could almost hang them in the trees. I've been playing with that a little bit more, but anyway. Okay. Anybody have any suggestions, ideas, questions, anything? The little owl will go back, make sure everybody's, remember the turkey. I will take pictures after I put some more details and put maybe find some photos. I think things look better with photos. This was our original one we started with tonight. Get some photos on here, whatever combination works for your pictures. That one's too big, huh? But I've moved them all around so much. That was my original goal. Okay, so Mr. Turkey, 1 inch, fold them in half. Couple of them I used on my cutter, and I used the, the thing, the scoring pad. And I found it was just as easy to fold it and do it. Put 2 little black enamel dots for eyes. Guess I could, again, I'm very much into pen work, as you can see. I like it. It's probably the old artist in me that likes to doodle. I do. Just like to doodle. And to see where the photos will go on this one that I have up right now, Terry. Okay, if that's the one you're speaking of. So when I designed this page, I kind of put one larger photo there. I'm pulling up my photos, bear with me here, my photo map. And then I had said a little earlier that you could put, like tuck 2 in under him. If you wanted, you could put 2 3x5s in there. You could put smaller photos. You can put one over here if you wanted. It can be any size. Whatever works for you. Sky's the limit. If you have one big photo, this is 5, let me double check, 5.5 by 7.5. So you can put a 5x7 in here quite nicely. So this is the big mat. So that's 5.5 by 7.5. If you have a 5x7 family photo or whatever, that could fit in there and it could just be the whole centerpiece. And then, if you wanted, just for argument's sake, just because for creativity, you could put a couple small photos there. I have this set up for journaling. This over here is a little more, it's not your typical size. So it doesn't quite fit, a 4 inches, a 5-inch picture, but a little narrower, like 5 by 3 maybe. So this is, we'll just use this for sizing wise. Well, I scrap lifted that turkey idea from someone. You scrap lift, and you don't have to call it scrap lift. You can just call it recreating. But you could get 3 photos down there, or you could do some journaling down here. You could throw a bracket in there if you want, if you had more that you wanted to say, or, it was the kids and you wanted to put some more to it, put your 4 by 5s, and you can throw a bracket underneath and do a little more journaling. If you don't need that much space, you can pull it down, or you can use these little tabs, and you could add a 3rd tab here like this. So that, if you have 3 separate pictures in here, you can talk about the first one, the second one, and then you could put another tab about this 3rd photo. So you can put anything, and you can throw a photo over here in the leaves if you do it before, you stick it so you can get it in there. Photos, ideas, anything, you can tuck them underneath. Lift that up, tuck a photo in there. I have one layout I did that I used the octagon, the hexagons, that set. And I made this real fun little design with the hexagons, and I used the 2 by 2, and I think I might have even gone a little smaller. And I put all the animals from the zoo that were different animals. Because, sometimes you go, because when the girls were younger, we took them to a different zoo all the time. A couple times a year. We went to Buffalo, we were in Rochester, we were in Toledo, Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Hershey, North Carolina, just everywhere you can think of. We went to these different zoos. Part of it was because our youngest daughter was a little bit backwards and didn't do well with new experiences. Her mom used to be like that. And so we were trying to just get her out in the world so that she wouldn't be afraid of it. And so she ended up being our world traveler, studied abroad. So I guess it worked. So there, arrange your photos anyway. If you do not have photo mats, I will tell you, I was the biggest skeptic with photo mats and photos. I'm like, what do I need this for? I can cut 5 by 7. I can cut 3 by 4. Yeah, we can. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I can just visualize. I can create a layout. I can move these around, and I can see where things are going to go. And it just gives you ideas. You can do that. You can lift it up. If you wanted something else in there, you have your card making things. If you don't have some, get a set, maybe one. They're fun. You could break it up with a card. You can cut it to the 5.5 mark if you wanted to do something a little different. The turkey is made from the oval out of Gina. He's made from the oval out of Shapes. Shapes is no longer available. This is a 2.5-inch circle. He would be about 3 inches. If you don't have Shapes, but he is just an oval, but he is made from Shapes from the Kiwi previous template kits or template sets. It is one of the discontinued or in retired, not discontinued, retired, never know, could come back out. Camera you know, all the different leaves are just from all the different sets. I just pulled in all the different ones that spoke fall to me. You know, not anything that, you know, we have ones from the tropical set. If you don't have tropical, they definitely have that fern, more fern feel, loose. Wow, I think that, what did I use the other day? Okay, do you have by any chance haunted? Because I used the haunted piece of candy and I traced one end of it, and then, okay, I'll show you instead of trying to tell you, because I'm a visual learner, not a talk to me learner. Let me find the candy. Now there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Now I just have to find my piece of candy out of this kit. It's in here. Just bear with me. It's in here somewhere. Should be. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That's what my grand. Oh, come on. You kidding me? Now, where in the goodness gracious? All right. Well, guess my piece of candy went MIA. Well, you know, the best place to always look is right in front of where it lives, because if you miss the thing putting it in, that's where it is. But anyway, I just took the oval. You know, I just drew my own. I just used the candy, and if anything, you could use this gourd even. Anything that'll give you that, and then I just attached it. So I just traced it, and I traced it, and then I attached it. So I think you can do that. Make a turkey. Pretty easy. Improvise. Yeah, so that's what I did with the candy. I didn't use the ends of it, but I used that oval from the candy on both ends, and then I just elongated it, and it gave me an oval. So yeah. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. I had fun doing this one. I think it's nice, and anything can go with it. It's pretty generic, you know, like it's fall. We've got a cute little turkey. It's Thanksgiving. Like I said, I got a little crazy with some of the other ones, and I had to settle myself down. But guys, I love doing this. If there's anything you want to see, any other layout ideas, let me know. I would love to try to come up with something for you, or pull something out of my stash. I think I know what I'll be working on for the rest of the night is I'm probably going to set this aside until I have photos for it, because until I have photos down here, it is not going to bring this together for me. You know, that's just how I am, because there are so many things I could do with it. There are clouds. There are other trees. I could turn that wicked house into something calmer. I could put a circle or a hexagon. I could flip another one of the templates upside down. Sky's the limit. I just get motivated. I visualize from my photos. So like I was playing with this at my friend's house, and that's why I said I started playing, and I started creating a picture instead of a layout. And so I got too focused on this. I could put this in my, I could probably cut this and put it in my snap frame, and it would be so cute. I could put it with my cows and stuff down there. Okay, does anybody, you like to see people leaf through their scrapbook? I could do that. I have scrapbooks probably right here. We have a couple minutes left. Let's see what I have. I have Girls Through the Years, I think. See what's in it. Let me see what I have right here. I'll turn my lights off because I think they make it glare. I have no idea what's in here. We're about to find out together. Okay, so this is my girls. I think I showed some of these photos a couple weeks ago. I was showing how I took big pictures and cut them down. Try to take some of the glare off. My girls as they got bigger. Through the years, and this is back when I was using the thin paper, which let me tell you, that gets thrown away. Thin paper is awful. This is one of my favorites. I love when this first came out and I used it and put the girls around it. Yeah, tuck a bracket in. I left the picture whole, except for where I cut it out. A fun in the sun one. Can't turn the overhead light out. Sorry, I won't be able to see it all. A lot of flowers and kites and adventure. Here we are at an amusement park and riding one of my dad's horses. And this is when I love this, playing with you probably can't see. Take it out. This is before it was a big thing to layer all of the flowers. But I liked that. I'll put it back in later. Just layering, something simple as a few pictures, and I layered brackets. And this is from Nature, a couple tags to just talk about being at the amusement park. And I've said before how I love this big keepsake. And then one of the gears, the large gears, and again, tags layered up. This was when Conneaut Lake Park that's near us, they had $5 Friday nights, and we used to take the girls, and there was like no one there. You can see there's hardly anybody in the rides, and they could just ride and ride and ride and ride for $10. They had a lot of fun. We went to a lot of amusement parks. As you can see, our daughter loved them. The other one, not so much. Is those wildflower. This up here, wildflower, Terry. Now that's from the Gadgets, I believe. It's a big gear. Gadgets 1. I'll wait for the camera to catch up, but that's what it is up there. Okay, Gadgets. This flower is from Nature. This one is from one of the older the bigger flower sets. I'm gonna have to look. It's one of the larger ones. So it's from Floral. That's what it would be, Floral. So those are the big. I don't even know if Floral is still active. I'd have to actually look. And then this looks like it's from Blossom. Is that what that one's called? It is. Yeah, it is the little one too. Bouquet. And it was in a Kiwi Club kit. But using scallops and a couple things, leaves from Nature, and then just doubling up on a couple half moons to create, using some arrows, some tags. This is one of the pictures from at a zoo where I just put lots of pictures of them. Yeah. Lots I just made this one kind of look like a newsreel. That was Cleveland Zoo. This was a wedding we went to that they did that. No, that's her graduation party. I lied. Oh, another zoo. This must be my zoo book. This again was back when I was using thin paper. All right. That's from those big pictures. And this one back in here was wildflower. I think so. I'm not sure where you're meaning, but yeah, they're all out of that the fun flower. These are just nice, simple ribbon, tags, nature butterfly, nature, cutting that bear out. We love zebras. I don't even know my animals. Thanks. This is when Blossom, love that flower and that leaf and that. I just love that. It's like one of my, I say it's one of my, all of them are one of my favorites. Here's one of the ones I used some octagons just to create some shapes. Lots of pictures. On my zoo pictures, I want lots of pictures because I don't want 17 pages of zoo things. This is from an album my daughter made me. And this was the cover. She made it out of construction paper. And all these photos she had cut from various different places we have gone. And she made me a book and gave it to me for Christmas. But unfortunately, it was because it was construction paper, it was deteriorating. So I took it apart and made it into a page. And I don't think she'd be sad. I don't know if she's even seen that I did this, but fun paper to do it with. Flashlight from the wilderness, arrows, brackets, nature. This is an arrow. Use the arrow to make that was back before we had a lot, like a tree. And so we used that arrow, the tent out of wilderness. So this must have probably been when wilderness came out and we had just been camping in a treehouse. It was quite an adventure. More pictures from that, just some trees and just more about writing and remembering and the girls having so much fun. It poured the whole weekend. Just, here's the one that I like. I did this one, layer in the pictures, again, using some of the, and I used to use the computer some. I tend to use handwriting now because I found through the years after losing parents and mother-in-law and father-in-law that our handwriting is special too. And I think it's really important to include it for the kids to remember. But yeah, I used the hexagons and I put all those pictures of the animals that are a little different, like I said, that we don't normally see. Something different. Today's special moments are tomorrow's memories. And the girls still in their mid-20s talk about it. And that's the end of that book. Someday I'll pull another one out for you and show you. But yeah, if anybody has anything, any suggestions of anything you want to see or, I can help with or whatever. Tonight, I feel like I was a little off, but I just had too much going. Again, don't forget, buy one, get one half off the past Kiwi Club kits through the end of October. So if you're not a Kiwi Club member, great time to try it. 15% off all the carts until this Friday. Pre-release party October 28th. And again, thank you, Kiwi Lane, for the 25% off surprise thank you to Kiwi Club members as a thank you for being part of that membership and the cute little sticker. And like I said, if there's no commitment long term, It's a wonderful value. The paper, if you're a Kiwi Club user already, you know the value of the paper. If we need a beginner's class, if we need something else, anybody, just let us know what you want to see so that we can schedule them in, that they will work on it and get it in the schedule, or let one of us know somebody wants to see it. And we are happy to do it. Love challenging ourselves and love doing more. And I will continue to work on getting my view to be better. I thank you all for spending your evening with me. And I will hopefully see you next week. Hopefully there'll be something for me to do next week. Okay, well, God bless and take care. See you guys next week. Love, Kiwi Lane. Bye-bye.